Many seniors today are asking a simple but powerful question. Is my Social Security check really keeping up with the rising cost of living? According to a new report, the answer is no, not even close. In fact, the average Social Security beneficiary today should be receiving about $598 more every single month if benefits had properly matched inflation over the past 25 years. That's nearly $7,176 per year missing from household budgets, a difference that could cover rent, groceries, utilities, or life-saving prescriptions. For millions of seniors living on a fixed income, this shortfall has been quietly eating away at their standard of living. Before we dive into the numbers, I'd like to hear from you. Do you believe your monthly benefit has truly kept up with rising prices? Think back over the last several years of going to the grocery store, filling up your gas tank, or paying for insurance. Has your Social Security check covered those increases, or has it fallen far behind? Drop a simple yes or no in the comments. And while you're here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Social Security Post so you don't miss important updates that could impact your benefits. The new analysis reveals a painful truth. If Social Security's annual cost of living adjustments, or COLAs, had truly reflected the real rise in prices, then today's average check would be nearly $600 higher each month. To put that into perspective, that's not just an extra bit of pocket change, it's the difference between struggling to afford food or being able to keep a little in savings. It could mean fewer seniors relying on credit cards for necessities or cutting back on critical medications. Even more striking, when you multiply that $598 per month across a full year, you're looking at over $7,100 annually that beneficiaries are losing. For many households, that amount equals a second income stream, a year's worth of property taxes, or the ability to replace an old vehicle. When framed this way, the shortfall is not just frustrating, it's devastating for people who worked their entire lives, paid into the system, and expected fair benefits in return. From the year 2000 to 2025, the cumulative rise in prices across the U.S. economy has exceeded 145%. This covers everything from groceries and healthcare to housing and utilities. Think about it. What you could buy for $100 in 2000 now costs nearly $245 in today's dollars. Seniors feel this reality every time they leave the house. During that exact same time frame, Social Security benefits rose by only 84 to 86%, depending on whether you count the upcoming 2026 increase. That leaves a gap of around 60 percentage points. In plain terms, seniors are falling behind by more than half of the real cost increases. While it might seem like benefits have grown a lot on paper, the truth is that they haven't come close to keeping up with actual inflation, creating a gap that directly explains why so many retirees feel poorer today than they did 20 years ago. The heart of the problem lies in how COLA is calculated. Right now, Social Security uses the CPIW, or Consumer Price Index, for urban wage earners and clerical workers. This index does not represent the spending patterns of seniors, who spend much larger shares of their income on healthcare, prescription drugs, and housing costs, categories that have risen far faster than average inflation. By relying on the wrong measure, the system consistently underestimates the true costs facing older Americans. Even more concerning is how small errors add up over time. If COLA misses the real inflation rate by even 0.5% per year, that may not sound like much, but over 25 years, that tiny shortfall compounds into hundreds of dollars per month. This is exactly why the average shortfall today stands at nearly $600. It isn't one big mistake, it's decades of minor underestimations building up year after year until the gap becomes massive. This gap has a ripple effect that goes beyond today's checks. Because COLA increases are calculated as percentages, a lower base benefit means smaller future increases. For example, a 2.5% increase on $1,000 equals just $25, but on $1,600, it would be $40. Over time, this difference compounds, creating an ever-widening gulf between what seniors should receive and what they actually get. In other words, today's shortfall isn't just hurting current beneficiaries, it guarantees smaller raises for years to come. For retirees living on limited incomes, this isn't just math, it's real life. Imagine a senior couple missing out on $7,176 per year. That's money that could cover months of rent, critical dental or vision care, or simply provide some financial peace of mind. Instead, many seniors are forced to cut back on groceries, put off needed care, or lean on family members. The shortfall is creating a quiet crisis where millions are living on less than they need despite decades of paying into the system. Some experts have begun asking whether these COLA shortfalls are simply accidents of the formula or whether they function as a way to delay insolvency in the trust fund. Consider this. If real inflation is 4%, but COLA is set at 2.5%, seniors fall behind while the Social Security system saves billions in payouts. By awarding slightly lower raises year after year, the system stretches its reserves at the expense of beneficiaries. The math is staggering. Even a 1% reduction across 70 million beneficiaries can mean billions of dollars saved annually. Over decades, those billions become hundreds of billions. This raises troubling questions about fairness. Are seniors being shortchanged in order to protect the system's balance sheet? While insolvency is a legitimate issue, many argue that the solution should not come at the cost of reducing the buying power of people who depend on these checks to survive. When viewed nationally, the numbers show just how large the impact really is. That $598 shortfall per beneficiary per month, multiplied across 70 million Americans, represents over $41 billion withheld every single month from seniors. Over the course of a year, the gap reaches nearly $500 billion. These aren't abstract figures. They are resources that should be in the hands of retirees, the disabled, and survivors, but instead are lost because of flawed calculations. This systemic underpayment contributes to wider issues like senior poverty, reliance on food assistance programs, and medical debt. It also raises an important policy question: should Congress reform how COLA is calculated? Proposals like switching to the CPIE, which better reflects seniors' expenses, could close the gap and restore fairness. Until then, the average senior will continue to feel like their benefits are falling short of reality. The bottom line is simple. If COLA had actually kept pace with real inflation since 2000, today's Social Security checks would be nearly $600 higher each month. That's more than $7,100 per year, money that could mean the difference between security and struggle. This isn't just a statistic, it's a daily hardship for millions of seniors. So, let me ask you again, do you believe your Social Security benefit is fair? Has it really kept up with the rising cost of living? Please share your thoughts in the comments, because your voice matters. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like it, subscribe to Social Security Post, and share it with others who need to hear this message. Together, we can push for the fair benefits seniors deserve.